Are you ready for a mess? Alright, we got more exploring to do. We've already checked that before, I believe, right? Yeah. That's where we left off last time. Hello. Don't mind me
They
just
won't see me coming.
turning momentarily invisible. Because that's not all what I'm doing. Hello. We have an archer. A varied group, almost like some sort of balanced and composed faction. So they have an honor guard, a sun soldier, an outrunner, and an archer. I believe outrunners are basically rogues, right? What's his armor at? 2? Probably comparable to the archer? Yep. Yeah, they have 5 and 7, but these two both have 2. So they're vulnerable, but they're fast, which makes them dangerous. And of course that one's ranged. So targeting them first could be useful for reducing their numbers and overall damage output, but of course they're mobile, which makes them hard to hit. Because that's the whole conflict we're doing in the first place with my character, is that Barrack runs in all tanky-like, and then is all difficult to hit. Oops, I just turned it off. Oopsie. And then he went back out of it. I mean, then he came out of stealth. So there's +2 armor. So he's got 10 armor now. That's insane. Wait a minute, that's not counting... He has 10.5 armor from his equipment. So his stance takes him to 12.5 armor, basically? Functionally? Yeah. +2 armor versus all against phalanx. Well, from phalanx. Against pierce, crush, and slash on top of everything else. So that's a lot. Unfortunately, it's his only defense against crush, apparently. His normal armor doesn't work against crush, apparently. He's very vulnerable to fire. But he's super armored against pierce and frost. So I should be worried if I fight somebody with a hammer or somebody with fire spells, but everything else... Damn, he's hard to take down. And I don't see a mage in this group, but there's still side passages, so you never know when you're going to get surprised. And let's get this out of the way. It's because I've been forgetting this, and I apologize. But there's missives in this game. I think I've never opened this before. I don't remember opening it, ever. Period. I don't think there's even been a tutorial for it. It might still be waiting over here, because I've been putting some of them off, because there's so many of them. May the edict claim your worthless life. Archived. And that's probably archived because I opened it, right? This is from Tarkis, Arri of the Vendrian Guard. We are not completely without our senses. We knew Kairos would issue an edict on our valley. Perhaps the Overlord has a sick sense of humor, but I can assure I laughed when I learned the death sentence doomed the Oathbreaker and Puppet equally. I had such low expectations for the servant of the so-called Archon of Justice. Tunon seems little more than a passive stooge that sits on a throne to legitimize the carnage and plunder of other Archons. The face of prosperity that lets Kairos claim one thing while being another. I would have hoped you actually did serve justice. The notion, not the Archon, but your actions have said otherwise. At least I can thank you for proving my cynicism entirely warranted. If you survive this upcoming slaughter, bear witness that I, Tarkis Arri of the Vendrian Guard, do take responsibility for the actions of my crew. Should my warriors come before the court's axe tell Tunon they were starving, desperate, and easily manipulated into a struggle that was mine and not theirs. Sell this lie, as well as you would sell the lies of the Overlord. Tarkis Arri, Captain of the Vendrian Guard, Patriot of Apex. Oh, we're actually probably on our way to face this exact character then. This missive is archived. There it goes. Bye. So we can't respond to this one, as far as I can tell. Okay. Now we fight. After a quick save. There we go. Just to remember that was read already. Alright, Barrack. Let's go have some fun. There's a sage. Look, it's the thing I was worried about. Ha, spellcasters. This is probably the time to use that spinny, crazy nightmare blade attack, huh? Fight harder. Don't give up. Are any of them named? No. They're just generics. So... this seems unlikely. How long does it take to cast? Strike 2 times with basic attacks for 20 seconds. That's pretty good already. And it does an AoE taunt. It might be instant because there's no current... we're not currently waiting to be ready. I'll see if this works.
Come and face my iron!
Well, I hope it worked. It got the archer and the sun soldier at least. So now let's go after the honor guard to make sure the fight starts how I want it to. There we go. And now this entire crowd can surprise this guy over here. Let's start with some fire, in your case, because he's, if we can stun him for a while, that'd be handy. A Quill Flurry. And bleed.
Count on it.
Just take out that rogue as fast as possible to reduce one of their number quickly, hopefully. Let's see here. How's he doing? He's badly injured. That's a start. I'm about to do the... there's the nasty bleed. Near death. Okay. So the size... oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. I was thinking of Iron Storm as a casting skill, but it's not. Let's get into the middle of the enemy group, so at least I can hit people with it.
I got it.
There we go. That's something at least. So from this now we can trigger this. That's better. There we go. One is down. I want you two. No, just you two. To now focus on their sage before they become a problem. So far, our party is nice and healthy, which is nice. And here comes a scary AoE attack. That seemed like a good time to do that. Now our main character's leveled up, which also seems like good news. Let's see. So this is their primary tank, barely injured. Who are you doing? Oh, you're buffing people. I'll let you do that. That's fine. This is the ranged heal. We could do Blood-Soaked Stone, but... where is he? The problem right now is that... okay, I'll leave the sage alone for just a moment. Let's do Blood-Soaked Stone on this other guy over here real quick. There we go. I couldn't do it with the other character because they were in combat. I want to go after their mage, but I need to break... I need to break that attack so that we wouldn't have to deal with attacks of opportunity. Let's get you out of range. There we go. So you guys can both focus on this character. Go for the Heart Strike. And the fire. Just anything I can do to stop them from doing acts for a while, hopefully. He's casting Spectral Blur, which is probably the best thing, yeah. I've got the enemy's focus, so I'm going to use this for bonus damage.
Move! I'm trapped in place.
So he's trapped in place. No one's doing particularly poorly right now. In fact, I'm adding wounds to my enemies instead of myself right now, which is good news. I'm going to try to heal myself a little bit before things get worse. Just to try to avoid wounds. Well, there's a wound, probably.
Take that.
Not a good start for that character. Let's do False Pit. Can I hit both of them? Possibly. That'd be good news. That would really mess with them. You're not... I told you to cast False Pit here, right? Doesn't work? What if I click on him directly? You do have to click on a target. Okay, that's fine. How's this character doing? Near death. Let's have you... let's see, Concussive Bolt. That's a Dazed Affliction. Let's throw it at their archer. There we go. That's a good help. I think I'm actually going to focus on the archer with Verse, who kind of ran off on to do her own thing for a moment there. Let's mess up the archer. We're doing really well right now, I think. Alright. No one even needed a revive this time. Helps that Barrack is untouchable, practically. So who are you targeting right now? The Sun Soldier. Sun Soldier crits Lantry. Let's do iron tolling. Just try to get this guy's attention because he's wailing on my healer, which is not good news. Try to finish that guy off. I can go for heart shot.
I got.
There we go. Now it's pretty much over. Their tank's down. Oh, low health on Lantry. I accidentally unpaused it midway through that. Why are you facing this direction? Oh, he's probably healing Lantry. Let's have him spectral touch himself, because people keep targeting him. It just seems like the reasonable call at this point. Yeah, it's probably the best thing to do right now. How do you feel about it being on fire? Yay! He's not on fire. Hey, Lantry leveled up. That's one way to undo all the damage happening to him. Hey, we've won. That's a bit surprising, but we did it. Cool. Wow, 3 people leveled up. We might be here for a while. I need to rest before using Iron Storm again. I might want to rest, because it's not a terrible skill. I don't know, can I search? I can't search my combat feed to find the iron. Oh, weird how it keeps zooming in the background. Nah, it doesn't even go all the way back, does it? I kind of wanted to look up for information about how the sword attack performed to see if it's even worth worrying about. Alright, so multiple people leveled up. I'm going to go ahead and quick save, because we made noteworthy progress. You have unspent talent points. Yes, thank you. Wow, level 5 already. I could go into might, or more accuracy, even more health. That'd be between 140 to 147, and then some will defense, of course. I'm a little undecided on how to handle some of these stats. Wouldn't hurt to put another point into quickness. It helps with cooldowns, and it helps with, it also helps with a whole bunch of evasion-related skills, and particularly the high level of dodge he already has, and control illusions, and thrown weapons. I'll put a point into that. Why is it still glowing? Oh, other characters have attributes to expend. Oh, I can do that right now. Do everyone's attributes, then everyone's talents. That makes sense too. See, we haven't pumped up might at all because it doesn't affect her dual wielding. It does affect bows and athletics and other things, but quickness clearly helps with dual wielding and dodge. Well, this helps with dual wielding and athletics and so on. Finesse does just feel like a natural fit for her. She has less than normal health though, which is kind of a bummer. The fact that she has a negative modifier in health seems a little rough. I'm gonna go into finesse again. Hey, Lantry. So, wits often seems like the natural conclusion with you, because it levels up, it helps all your spellcasting. Plus 45% spell strength and plus 27 magic defense. Alright, now it's time for talents. And there's a lot to pick from on this character. We'll save you for last. I'm slightly afraid of his tree, because there's so much to look through. Let's see, verse. So I believe we got Nimble last time, which is the bonus to dodge when using light armor. Probably is helping a lot. Armor penetration on arrows. With verse, I'm going to go ahead and grab Killing Spree, which gives her, whenever a kill happens, I don't know, I'm actually not entirely sure if it has to be her kill or kill near her, or just someone she's engaged with, but she'll strike 2 times with basic attack for 15 seconds, so it's just, she just goes crazy and starts rapid firing attacking. Also, down here there's a rank 2 of it that's 3 times with basic attacks for 20 seconds, so that gets absurd at some point. But also I want to unlock the next tier of duelist skills, where there's some nice stuff like a Gravedigger attack where you would try to knock your enemy prone without having to do a combo with your other character, for example. Pig on a Spit is a teleport, or something where you switch places with your enemy at least. Blade Dancer is a 15% bonus to melee attacks. Lethal Opening is if somebody misses your attack, their attack on you, you automatically hit them back immediately. Like let's get into that. Lantry's next move seems relatively natural, which is to go for plus 20 control life, making him a more talented healer, which seems to be helping out. So I'm kind of falling in love with this leadership tree, which I think actually kind of serves the purpose of what I was thinking about when I was making this character, when I was thinking about the idea of him becoming someone that keeps buffing the party and somehow helps them out and so on and so forth. But Lantry has kind of filled that role to an extent, and I've kind of been a ranged character, but even then, I'm a weird character that's like redundant of elements of Verse and Lantry in a sort of way, which, you know, is almost a given, because Verse, Lantry, and Garrick on their own make up a pretty well-rounded party. And so now that I have some basic stuff set up for range that make me a functional combatant at least, I really want to look into leadership, because there's some cool abilities in here. Like you can, like the one at the very bottom is once every 10 minutes you put down a banner that gives people health recovery every 3 seconds and a big bonus to damage within that area. And there's things like, where's the cool one? Second Wind. Once per encounter, when you get low on health, you recover 40% of your health, and everyone within 5 meters also gains health. So it's not only do you recover from almost going down, but you have an AoE heal. What I've figured out is that every single tree has a variation of thrust, where thrust is the ability you start out with. It's just a melee attack, but everyone gets a variation upon it. In this case, mark enemy is the leadership one, which makes it so that everybody fighting against the guy you're fighting gets a 20% accuracy bonus. Not 20%, 20 accuracy bonus. And there's variations here, like the one in Magic gives them 15 accuracy. Oh, that's power. The one in Magic gives them makes it so that people attacking that target get 15% to all magic skills, and Spell Breach, which means that they have 5 reduced armor to all elements and stuff like that. The Agility one has one that's meant to blind your enemy, and the one for range was one that breaks engagement, lets you run away and stuff like that. But I like the leadership one of making everyone accurate against a specific target, making that specific character you want to take down vulnerable. And there's a series of cool things around here, like Bandolier, 50% bonus to potions across your entire party, and 2 extra quick slots for items in your party. There's just generally cool things. 2 arms gives, let's see, when you use thrust, it gives everybody nearby a bunch of different defense bonuses. Boost morale, there's just a passive where if anyone's near you, they get 1 bonus to all stats. 2 additional spell slots to everyone in your party. Like it's a passive. This is basically the tree that upgrades everybody in the game, almost like when you have a base you can upgrade in a game sometimes that makes everyone more powerful. So I do want to go into this. I am slightly torn, particularly between Mark Enemy and Bandolier. I like the idea of Mark Enemy because I can make somebody more vulnerable, but Bandolier is pretty neat because not only is there additional quick slots, but I like the idea of the additional effect when they're used. That said, I already have thrust, so I do like passive upgrades to skills that I already have. So I like the idea of making it so that my thrust attack I already have will now make my allies more accurate against that enemy, and then later on it'll also give allies a bonus to stats across the board. Especially great if I'll probably be using it against somebody that's currently engaged with either Verse or Barrack or anybody else who gets substituted into the party over time, assuming we get more characters, and that this should be handy to have. But yeah, I think I'm going to start going down that tree in particular. And now everyone is upgraded, and we're all level 5 and 6. Barrack's about to level up again, so next time I find my way back to a camp, I should be able to recover. I mean, not recover, I should be able to train new skills, which should be useful. Hello, drops. We have Avenging Guard Light Bronze Armor, which of course counts as heavy armor, but I can't put it on this character, unfortunately. It is weaker, though. Barrack is comically effective, to the point where I almost wonder if he's going to leave the party. Because he almost feels like an early Fire Emblem character, where it's like they're there to make it the game easier at the beginning, but then they also aren't effective in the long run because they go down. So it's an Iron Dagger. Don't think I want it. Stash you away. If nothing else, it's vendor fodder for later. That's a dead end, huh? Oh, there's something down here, though. Where is it? There's the barrel. Topaz. It's at least worth the second currency type. That's something. We have spikes blocking our way, so I guess we have to take this way out. Come and get it. I wonder how much of a dungeon there is to this particular siege. Hello.
You didn't see nothing.
Oh, well, this looks rather final, doesn't it? Oh, is that... Hey, it's Ebb. I remember you from earlier. Oh, there's Tarkis Arri. That's the character that sent us the hate mail earlier. Honor Guard. Archer. Sage Apprentice. You're not even a real sage, although they kind of make up for it by having Ebb here, I'm sure. Okay. Whew. So it's another 5-person enemy group. Which we've dealt with before, but we have what should be hero characters, basically. Tarkis surprisingly doesn't have that much armor. The Honor Guard makes up for that, I suppose. So Ebb is rather vulnerable to melee attacks, it would appear, with a 0 armor at all. So if I could target them with other characters, they'd probably go down pretty quickly, just not my mage, who doesn't even really have that many offensive spells in the first place. Just really false pit. Hang on a second. I thought I made a fire spell for you. What happened to that? Rhyme Spike. Yeah. Am I just not noticing that? No, it's not equipped. What? Can I... How did you end up not having a spell equipped? I didn't realize that was an option. Spells. There you go. I was like, what happened to your attack spell? That's strange. I should try to make a little more sense of these things here. Let's put the heals at the end and the attacks near the front. That's obviously an attack. This thing right here is Greater Renewal. 1 armor. Right, this is the one that bonuses people's stats. So that's actually a buff, so we put that over here. So, attack with debuff, and then various buffs with the heal at the end, the res down there. Yeah, these are both heals. There we go. That layout makes a little more sense. Now he actually has the attack spell equipped. Whoops. Alright. I'm sure we'll do just fine. We might be doomed. We'll see how it goes. It's fun. It's fun. Well, it's fine. Maybe they'll talk. Oh yeah, they are green text. They do all have green, so I guess we should just walk in. I won't be able to ambush them anyway. So, you are the vanguard of Kairos' conquest. Not as tall as I imagined. You're a little short for a stormtrooper. I'm sorry. But we can't all choose our executioners. Already word of our defiance spreads throughout the lands. You're 7 kinds of stupid if you think our war ends here. Before you stands Captain Tarkis Arri, de facto leader of the dwindling Vendrian Guard. Short, sunburned, and agitated even when standing still. Her body is a compact sculpture of muscle and bone, and her face is short on symmetry thanks to the scars and dents of a dozen brushes with death. Though your lives will certainly end here in Ascension Hall, she chortles, pointing upwards to the ceiling, its stone arches somehow supporting the massive weight of the spire overhead. Consider yourself fortunate. Some of the finest rulers of Apex met death by duel in this hallowed hall. Truly, there is no finer place to settle an intractable feud. Sisters, brothers, Arri looks back at her cadre of soldiers with a solemn nod. It has been a privilege to lead and an honor to share in your final days. Taking a deep breath, she turns to you, waiting silently. Well, this will be interesting, won't it? So I can ask her what she what she hoped to gain from a rebellion. Say I can dismiss it condescendingly. Say any last words? I can threaten them with athletics. I have orders to make this excruciatingly slow. That might lead to some demoralizing debuff on some of the characters. Might even enrage them. It might even do the opposite of what I'm hoping for. Or maybe even lead to one of them running away. No lore. Subterfuge lets us say, I'm but the first of your problems. The chorus and disfavor are right behind me. The one thing they have in common is a hatred of you. So, just menacing, basically. Or just attack, outright. Let's try a little talk. What did you hope to gain from your rebellion? Nothing that we haven't already gained, our pride, our dignity. These things you can never take from us. She smiles, her eyes distant for a moment. The Vendrian Guard could never stand against all of Kairos' forces, but we can tell each others to resist, and maybe you'll run out of soldiers before we run out of stubbornness. But I doubt it. You already use Kairos' currency, speak the language. Military control is a formality. But that's... Arri stammers, swatting at the air. That's just sophistry. Kairos speaks our language, not the other way around. Besides, that proves nothing other than the common history. But the Fatebinder is saying that Kairos is not just one enemy, but a massive force that can reach you even in times of peace. Armies and edicts are just two of the bloodier ways Kairos can control you. There's no follow-up, though. That's the end of that conversation. There's no other dialogue besides that. Let's see. I do like the idea. The good thing about the subterfuge option is that it is a bluff, because they're of course super divided. But I can freak them out, and I kind of want to try it. So this is a lie, but I'm but the first of your problems. The chorus and the disfavored are right behind me, and one thing they have in common is a hatred of you. Fine, just more gristle to chew on. However, many friends you brought, will be happy to slay them all. The captain nods at her own words, but looks at her soldiers and sees unsettled faces looking back. Steady yourselves, this is our moment of glory. Her rallying shout echoes through the chamber, but does little to bolster the shaking morale of her crew. Any last words? Yes, a broad smile comes over Arri's face. Tell the voices of Narat we are most thankful for his aid. He would not have made it this far without his support. Let's see. Wow. I wonder if that happens in both cases, because we had a suggestion that the disfavored were working with the enemy, and now it seems like maybe the voices were, but how do we know if that's true or not, or if it's just something she's throwing out there to screw with us, the way we just bluffed to her? How would we know? I guess maybe my subterfuge skill might be able to detect when somebody's bluffing, but I haven't had any indication of that yet. And fight time. I'm gonna quick save, so I don't have to redo all the dialogue if I fall, because this is a big one. And unfortunately, they're in a formation, and I'm not, which includes Barrack being in the back, which is awkward. I'm gonna try splitting up the party a little bit. They immediately undid my orders because the combat started. That's annoying. Alright, that's an archer, that doesn't matter. Tarkis is there. So send you over here. Send you after their honor guard. Oh, that was a weird path to take. Alright, I did click there, but I didn't expect them to run around behind. Alright, first spear thrown. Let's get you over here real quick, just so we're not standing in a line with that character. 2 spellcasters. Ball lightning sounds like bad news. It's probably not good. Not much I can do about it during combat, though. Unless I want to break guard and get in trouble here. I have faith in Barrack's defenses, so let's go ahead and go for a Spectral Blur on Verse. It's probably a little bit more helpful. We'll go for a Bleed and a Burn. Just try to take down their leader quickly. I kind of wonder if I kind of wonder if taking down their leader early could somehow lead to perhaps demoralizing effects on their party. We'll have to see over time. Here comes the Heart Strike, I believe. There it goes. Alright, she's injured. That's a start. Fire attack was triggered. Everything more or less went how it was supposed to. Cool. Let's go for a thrust.
Alright.
For the aiming bonus. There we go. how'd that work out? Thrust grazes Tarkis Arri. So does she have the debuff, I wonder? +1 enemies engaged. Oh, she can engage multiple people. Interesting. So I want to stay put then, or I'll get in some trouble here. But we can do Blood-Soaked Stone, and that'll help just fine. That'll give us our chance. Yeah, Lantry's not going to be effective against this guy. Rim Spike, though. Can you hit teammates with this? I wouldn't want to. Let's see. Faux target. Faux area. It does say faux area of effect, which seems to suggest it only hits enemies. I might have to find out the hard way if I cast this. Let's give it a shot. Let's try some magic on this character. That'll be interesting. I'm just trying to destroy their leader. Alright, I think it worked. Lantry activates Rhyme Spike on Tarkis Arri. And there's the, we grazed them with Blood-Soaked Stone. You can tell we grazed them because she's on the ground. She's prone. She has Titan's Touch on her from one of her allies, presumably. So, I think... So, Rhyme Spike's still in progress, then? Okay. I was looking for the effects of it, not finding it. I should probably apply an item. Yeah, let's go for poison. That'll be fun. Throwing a few heals around, we're fine though. Lantry misses Tarkis. Whoa, with the entire Rhyme Spike? Yeah, it did. Well, didn't really think about the idea that that could even happen. Sure. We could quicken our leader here. That's a... Let's see. It's a heal for 47% though, so I might as well wait for the leader to actually take some damage. Let's then go for some... We'll go for some physical damage attacks against their Sage, who was... Because this character clearly is powerful against that stuff. You just changed my engagement target, didn't you? Alright. You asked for it then. No, we need... Yeah, let's... Well, he can't keep engagement on anyway. So I can just turn away and just hit this person with the bleeds anyway right off the bat. Tarkis grazes Verse. Verse is doing alright. Does Verse still have Spectral Blur? Good. Alright, so she still has Spectral Blur, so she's doing fine. She's hard to hit. And Guy did Heart Shot. 9 damage. Gained a wound. No indication of bleed, unfortunately. It's a start, though. Do you have Titan's Touch on you? You don't. I could do that. Or I could do it myself, actually, too. We're actually holding on pretty well right now. Oh, no. So Titan's Touch yourself, but then... Titan's Touch yourself. But then, actually change target to them. Come on. Extraordinary Defense. Lantry is... Yeah. He's trying to go after Tarkis, and I don't want them to do that. Let's see. Let's use Thrust. This person's not going down. Try a False Pit.
Right.
Just doing what I can to take this person down, finally. Our tanks are doing a good job of keeping each other busy. Here it comes. Near death. This could be it. Come on.
This weapon is
We're so close here.
useless.
Alright, Lantry, this is the time for using the heal on our leader. There we go. Their leader is down at long last. That went alright. There's their tank. Could obliterate them, or we could focus all of our efforts. Oops, let's not target them that way. Let's focus our efforts on their Sage, who... Oh, he has 4 armor, which is surprising. but he should not be able to repel the attacks very well. All these physical affronts. So go for heart attack. Go for fire attack followed by skewer. Just do what you can against this character.
Are you afraid of death?
Party's actually staying pretty healthy right now. Alright. Let's go for Quicken again.
On my command. Good work.
I must have not triggered it earlier. That's fine. We did it now, at least. There we go. Change target. Absolutely. Do heart shot. Just change target to them. We need to take down their other caster if we can. Ebb is now injured. Wow, the party's staying really healthy right now. Alright. Spectral Blur only really makes sense for the person that's actually engaged in melee combat. Everyone else is mostly taking ranged hits from anything, really. Our tank's doing a good job at keeping attention right now. Skewer. Oh, the tank went down finally. It's over. Oh, figured that person would not die. Their fully voiced character. This is pretty much over now. Well, he's trying, and that's kind of adorable. Turns out having an entire party of characters being able to heal is not a terrible idea. You worthless gnats. We may die, but others will follow our example. Mark my words, the captain coughs up. Coughs up blood. That was not a cough for effect, that was me losing my voice, apparently. Crush them all! The fifth eye's battle cry falls flat as he surveys the room littered with Vendrian guard bodies. Now that's how it's done, Fatebinder. I should be angry that you denied me a scalp or two, but I ought to thank you for saving me the trouble. Oh. Gee. That's a hell of a response. You can say, I am honored again to have a hand in the glory, or I can say, I'm sure the Archon will be pleased that I managed to do your job for you. Or I can say I can betray the Alliance by saying, now you arrive. I shed blood to take Ascension Hall. This place, the spire of the valley, it's mine. All of you, be gone. I can just seize this place for my own. What does that even do? Like, there's so many possibilities. They could take the super ambitious route of having that literally lead to an entirely different game that just splits down the center, which is pretty amusing. Or they could lead to a fail condition where I get swarmed with so many enemies that I can't possibly actually defeat them. Like, that's interesting. Oh man. So I'm gonna stay where I am now, but that dialogue option, more than possibly anything up until now, has really made me want to do a second playthrough. We'll have to see down the line if it seems feasible, because long game, but it makes me want to know. Because I imagine playing like a barbarian. I imagine making a character that's almost something similar to Verse a little bit, running around just maybe a two-handed weapon and just crushing people and power hungry and just a dick to everybody. Like, it'd be fun to do, completely change things, and then maybe betray the Alliance. And it's got to be sufficiently different, right? I hope. One of the first things I heard about this game was that supposedly it's supposed to be shorter than a game like Pillars of Eternity to an extent, because supposedly there's supposed to be a bunch of content that's locked behind making different decisions. So they make the decisions matter more, which always makes the game shorter. That's the legend I've heard, because of course I've barely played this game at this point. So I would like to do a playthrough of that sometime, but not right now. Instead, I'm just going to be a dick in my own way. I'm sure your Archon will be pleased that I managed to do your job for you. Which, by the way, this line of dialogue is super deserved, because, seriously, what did they really... They didn't do anything to help. All this build-up to taking down this place, and what happened? I climbed the wall myself, killed everyone in the courtyard, then walked inside, killed everyone inside, and got to the leader and took down everyone there too. All that ultimately happened with the Scarlet Chorus is that they held off the disfavored, which were the other people that were supposed to be on my team. So it's like these armies were not particularly useful in this effort. Wow. So Tunon chooses his servants well, apparently. Or no, the Justice Archon does, not Tunon. Wait, no, never mind, sorry. Tunon is the Justice Archon. Kairos is the leader. So yeah, Tunon chooses his servants well, apparently, because I got shit done. Wrath of the Scarlet Chorus. How dare we state the obvious? Well, of course. If anyone appreciates the delegation of risk to expendable outsiders, it's the Archon of Secrets. The party has received liberating hand wraps. The clatter and madness of combat has finally ceased. Ascension Hall is, for a moment, tranquil. Gained favor, disfavored, lost favor of Vendrian Guard, gained favor of Scarlet Chorus. It's almost as if I fought a war for them. We have tier 3 wrath right now with the Vendrian Guard. May pox take your children. Arri slumps to a crouch, her body trembling from injury and fatigue. I don't know if my character would ever have children. With those words of defeat, the burning hum you've heard in your head for days on end tapers off into nothing. Your mind returns to a state of quiet you have not felt since before you proclaimed the edict upon Vendrian's Well. Let's see. I lay claim to Ascension Hall. Let us be free of this edict. You feel a tug in your chest as a warm energy begins to form around you. Before you know it, you feel as if you were lighter than air. That was odd. What? The Scarlet Chorus people were left behind, but... Oh. Okay, so Fifth Eye is here, the enemy leader's here, my party's here. Where's Ebb? I saw Ebb teleport with everyone else, but I don't actually see them here. Wait, what's that? Right here. Is that Ebb's leg? Is Ebb standing inside my character? Because that's my character. That's Lantry. That's purple. I think Ebb is crouching right here, and you just can't see them past my main character. You blink away the last of the luminescent trail. You blink away the last of the luminescent trails in your field of vision. The masonry of Ascension Hall is replaced with wide open spaces in every direction, save for the slab of ancient stone beneath your feet. High winds shove you, pushing you off balance. The air is cool and thin, unsatisfying to your lungs. Is this? Lantry looks out to the horizon, wide-eyed with excitement. Yes, this must be the mountain spire. When was the last time? Lantry's eyes look down over the ledge, dumbstruck by the vertical plunge. Lantry backs away from the edge. I may need to retch. This is certainly a change. The wind ruffles the feathers of her hair, in her hair, and Verse quickly smooths them down. A damn cold change. She peers over at the edge. I think I could land on my feet if I jumped. Not that it would matter for long. Kairos be merciful, what now? Barrack spins around on his feet, looking about, trying to take in as much as he can through the narrow visor of his helmet. Every way you look, mountains rise up along a distant horizon. The rivers and forest below bring to mind maps of Vendrian's Well, and you quickly trace the Matani, the Iranev, and all the numerous waterways of the region. Higher than you imagined, this is indeed the pinnacle of the spire at Vendrian's Well. How did we get all the way up here? Arri strains to stand up, clutching her side. More importantly, how do we get down? The fifth eye aims a sharp glare at Arri. The Vendrian Guard must be rounded up and conscripted. The disfavored must be run down. Much as I would relish the opportunity to fight alongside the disfavored right now, I cannot begin to imagine the chaos unfolding beneath our feet. Bear clenches his fists with a squeal of metal and turns away. We can send word to the voices that we were successful. Claim this place. Oh, we can claim this place for Tunan's court and say that all combatants must leave. That's honestly a good idea. Place loyalty towards Tunan above all else, because these two squabbling idiot factions are not doing a great job. And I have reason to think that both of them may have been working with the enemy, and if nothing else, they certainly were more keen to fight each other over anything else. I hereby claim this place. This is now an extension of Tunan's court, and all combatants must leave. This is no longer strictly a military concern. We need to take a breath and sift through what just happened. You claim it. The Scarlet Chorus bleeds for your victory, and you would so arrogantly savor the fruit all to yourself. Would you just deny the life sacrifice of countless? The fifth eye bursts into chortle, waving his hands dismissively. I jest. There are plenty more soldiers where they came from. The voices will not protest your claim for the time being. Wow. So he's just screwing around. Send word to the voices in Herat that we are successful. Our glory overfloweth. We would happily carry such good tidings to the Archon, but this humble servant cannot fly. Besides, the voices is a master of all matters magical. I highly doubt whatever just happened escaped his attention. You can hand a note to Arri and throw them off the ledge, saying the parchment will survive the fall. Holy crap. Agreed. Anyone witnessing what just happened knows the edict is over, but you should report to the Nerat, and return with any news he asks for me. Head through the portal. No telling how stable that is, but look closely and you'll see images of Ascension Hall in the haze. Well, if you have trained eyes, that is. Of course, even if that's not stable, the alternative is jumping, so what do we have to lose? By Kairos' iron grip, how did... The fifth eye taps his mask in a semblance of deep thought. The currents of magic glow as fire to your eyes. Strange that you saw this first. Glory to Kairos. It has been a pleasure in the loins... Thought I read that wrong, but no I didn't. It has been a pleasure in the loins to watch you fight, good Fatebinder. The voices will be most pleased. With the edict resolved, our purpose is clearly in focus. The disfavored must be slain. No doubt I'm the very definition of an enemy to the Overlord. I didn't just resist, I led others into resistance, so I know what's about to happen. But I know when I've met my match, and like most folk, I'll do whatever it takes to live. If you will show me mercy, I will pledge my life to you, good Fatebinder. So as expected, she's totally a party member. They really do tip their hand by having them be voiced. The Tidecaster bows to one knee, lowering her gaze. I know I'm an oathbreaker, so my word isn't what it used to be, but I promise, if you spare me, I will serve you well. I can just execute her, or I can question her in a number of different ways, or just trust her outright. My mercy has a price. What will stay your hand if not my service? Is it wealth you desire? I have plenty stashed throughout the tiers. I can lead you to it. Oh, I can ask for the knowledge of the Tidecasters. That could be interesting. Or just say swear fealty. Let's push it. I want the knowledge of the Tidecasters. We gain fear with Ebb. And let our secrets fall to Kairos' minions. Ebb looks down at her feet, chewing on her tongue with her long pause. It would take ages to train you. I can offer you this. Spare my life, and I get you access to my master's grimoire. Deal? There we go. That could give me access to symbols that could be used by not only just her, but other parts of the party, especially if she betrays me later, like some characters definitely have in some RPGs. Let's see. Then swear fealty to me. I, Ebb of the Tidecasters, do hereby pledge my life and loyalty to Guy Lovebridge. She dips in a short bow before meeting your eyes with a trembling smile. I will serve and obey until such time as I am freed from my obligations. My party's full. She's level 5, so she matches... She's actually a little bit behind, isn't she? Interesting. I'll replace verse temporarily.
Goodbye to you too.
It's fully voiced. Alright, I just want to try it out a little bit. I don't want to remove the tank, and Lantry is keeping us alive. But verse could be swapped in and out potentially depending on what role Ebb does. We'll learn as we go. Oh. Guess we're transitioning again. Oh, we're just done with voice acting apparently. These used to be voiced. Vendrian's well has fallen. For the second time since the conquest began, Kairos' armies take the citadel from its defenders. With your help, the Vendrian Guard rebellion has been crushed. Having taken Ascension Hall with your Scarlet Chorus allies, you satisfied the terms of the edict. You and the forces of Kairos are free from the Overlord's death sentence. With the threat of execution no longer looming overhead, the Overlord's armies turned their attention away from the citadel and towards each other. The tensions that flared over the long siege reached an explosive crescendo as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus armies clashed iron and bronze in a hasty, disorganized battle. After a brief exchange that left his soldiers bloodied, Gravenash withdrew his army from the valley, pulling the disfavored back to their secure fort at in the Blade Grave. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if I imagine I'll be siding with the Scarlet Chorus and attacking the Blade Grave, which makes me wonder if there might also be a separate playthrough where you can go after the Scarlet Chorus with being on his team, and I'm wondering just how many paths you can take through the game now, which is cool. Once his army finished licking their wounds, the voices of Nerat ordered the Scarlet Chorus to gather in the Stone Sea and prepare for war, this time against their former allies. The Archon of Secrets instructed his soldiers to respect your lawful claim over the Spire. Though a few greedy stragglers still lurk in the valley, the Scarlet Chorus were content to leave your stronghold uncontested. Yeah, makes sense. They probably didn't care about the location particularly, and we're just trying to get the hell out of there and not be killed by the edict. And the voices of Nerat is not stupid. But because it's the Scarlet Chorus and they're disorganized, there's going to be random members just sort of propped around. By the way, I'm amused by the fact that every single one of these heads down here is the same head over and over again. They tried to make it look different by having this one tilt funny and that one tilt forward, and some of the background ones are faded, but it's the same drawing over and over again. As days passed, the wounded and injured were nursed to health. You explored your strange bastion and planned your next steps with careful deliberation. As word spreads that the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored turned on each other, factions once resolved to bend the knee are inspired instead to continue fighting. The Archon's feud has heralded the collapse of Kairos' offenses. Oh, so those two are really gonna be in for it. I kind of wonder if Kairos is just gonna order me to take them both down because they're becoming such a hindrance. Tunon, the Archon of Justice, observes the chaos and discord spreading across the land. The Archon summons his Fatebinder to return to court at the Bastard City and report on his actions in Vendrian's Well. I wonder if we can teleport in canon, or if I have to actually walk all the way there over and over again. Our petty squabbles over delayed siege have no doubt evolved into a respectable civil war. The voices in Nerat will want to discuss the matter. By now, he's pulled back to the base at Cacophony. I suggest you don't keep him waiting. Wow, I can actually rip on him. I can rip into him saying that the voices of Nerat owe me, and that Ash was clearly more qualified to run the siege, or any siege. I can say he'll be patient, I give the orders, or the most functional thing is just to say, I'll join you at the Cacophony as soon as I speak with Tunon. Do that. The voices of Nerat loves to entertain new guests, and I'm sure he'll find you quite diverting. Be seeing you, Fatebinder. Well, I don't know where we're going from here. It's interesting. The game was so structured and clear in what our goal was that now it's time for them to introduce new things, and it's kind of exciting. The dissing energy of the spire falters. Whatever force awoke the powers that reside here gutters and fades, though a faint hum persists in the sculpture at the center. What? Stepping past the portal, almost to the edge of the spire, Fifth Eye lets out a squeal of panic. My exit vanished! It was just there! Let's look around. The humming from the curious sculpture pulses and builds in volume, as if to draw your attention. Aha, I bet that we have a teleport system. Oh yeah, look at all these circles we have here. This is almost certainly a series of teleports we can use to get to different parts of the world. Now that makes this a pretty powerful and neat location. Oh, and there's a verse up there. So your party members... Huh. I wonder if there's 6 party members total, because there's 6 little prongs here, and she's standing in one of them, but that might just be coincidence. Alright, so this is definitely our base from here on in. We'll see where this goes.